What is happening, guys? Happy Sunday and welcome back to football. You are listening to the People's Dynasty Podcast. That's right, the Dynasty WarZone. And with me, as always, is the man of the hour and the man with the power, Jerry Sinclair, buddy. A full slate, preseason slate, better than a non-full weekend. How the hell are you?
I am absolutely magnificent. We have finally gotten through the doldrums. There's no more underwear Olympics. There's no more mock drafts. There's no more camps. There's no more nothing. Randy, we have officially entered point scoring season. We have officially entered football season, which means all is good in the world.
And we're going to jump into all that in just a second. But any general takeaways? Like, I came up with 5 because I know Jerry has to work on the weekends. He's got a couple of his own. But any like broad takeaways that maybe people aren't really noticing?
I don't know. I mean, listen, when it comes to the first week of the preseason, we're going to notice everything because we've been waiting months for anything of the sort. So I think we are going to overreact. Probably we will overreact as well, but we as a football nation will overreact to just about everything we saw in week 1 of the preseason. So it is what it is. Let us have some damn enjoyment in this world.
For sure. One thing I will tell you from a fantasy and like gambling overall perspective that I noticed is the scores. I listen to a lot of gambling content because it's different than the fantasy content. And the last thing I ever want to do is, parrot or come across as if I'm stealing someone else's take. So I like listening to regular football podcasts, gambling podcasts, and then, thinking to myself, how does that relate to Dynasty? Well, one of the big things that the gambling podcast that I am a fan of, they are, always talking about the unders in these preseason games.
Oh.
And these games have been crazy. I mean, I'm thinking of the Eagles and the Bengals. I think they scored 60 points. I think that beat the total by like almost 20 points. I think scoring could be up. I don't know that it'll be pandemic level of scoring, but I think scoring across the board is going to be up, especially in the first part of the year, because every year this happens, right? The weather's nice. It's September. It's October. It hasn't gotten cold yet. It hasn't gotten super windy yet. And then all of a sudden, the weather comes. But I think we're going to get off to a fast start with points this year. And I think we need it. The last couple of years, scoring's been down a little bit. And Jerry, I'm sure, easy question to ask, but I'm sure you're hoping that's a trend that continues.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, which one of us wants to play a bunch of fantasy football leagues and hope for 12 points? Not a single human being that's listening to this. Let's effing go.
And I've got some quarterback takes, but I think the quarterback play overall is improved. You're not seeing the Gardner Minshew's coming into the season as a full-blown starter like he was last year. I think, the re-emergence of a guy like Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay. Sam Darnold, can he do it again in Seattle? Can Daniel Jones do it in Indy? These are all of the things. If you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not watching on YouTube, you should be, first of all. But if you're not, yes, this is a black eye. Yes, I have had a black eye since Thursday of last week. If you want to see the black eye and you're listening to this at some point during the week on the audio, go to YouTube, PlayerProfiler. You'll see right there, I've got a black eye, but I like to save that kind of nonsense for the end of the show. And I do have a bit of nonsense for you. But Jerry, did you know, remember last week we talked about Fast Draft and the Rabbit, and it was full, right?
Yep.
They opened up a new one. They cut the entry in half. It was a $20 event. Now it's a $10 event, and it's still a $50,000 prize pool. So go to Fast Draft, check that out. They're also doing one that coincides with the Scott Fish Bowl, going to raise $4,800 for the Scott Fish Bowl charity. It's pretty awesome stuff. If you need a few more details, check this out.
You asked, we delivered a full best ball tournament on Fast Draft, but we do it the Fast Draft way. And it's called the Rabbit because of course it is. 20-second time clock, 15 rounds. These drafts, they take 20 minutes. That's it. So you get a lot of new people coming in and playing, get a lot of best ball bros playing, exploitable ADPs, no rake. It is the best EV in all of fantasy. You should just go to fastdraft.app, use code FAST. You get a $50 deposit match. These things are a blast, and it's the best use of your funds in all of fantasy.
You're damn right. And Jerry, a week from Tuesday, I'll be back on my fast draft bullshit. We are taking Vinny to drop him off at college, and he goes in a state. He goes to Cincinnati, a state with access to fast draft. And so when you move in, how long has it been since you've been to a college?
Like
you lived in a dorm.
Oh, I never lived in a dorm. I went to college late in life, so I was not. I did not have to indulge in the smelling of a bunch of 18-year-old kids' feet and everything else.
Well, from an efficiency standpoint, they got this thing knocked down. Like you get a window, you get a 2-hour window, and the instructions say someone, like you can pull up to the curb, you can unload all your shit, get it to your dorm room, and then one person takes the car and parks, and they have to stay with the car. That person's me. So I will be sitting there in the parking lot, fast drafting my ass off. If you want to join me or you're interested in fast draft, the promo code is WarZone, all caps, all one word, WarZone. You get a $1 for $1 deposit match up to $50. So if you deposit 50, you get 50, and all of a sudden you got $100 on fast draft. And you could do 10 rabbits or a combination of others, but it's a lot of fun. Like literally, I know every time I'm going to Ohio so I can get some fast draft in. I'm a junkie. Season's right around the corner. Take part. Use promo code WarZone. And thank you to everybody who has. So, as you guys know, it is a running bit on this show that Jerry never does any research or prep for the show. And when he does, I go out of my way to make an inordinate big deal about Jerry doing prep. And where you can really count on Jerry's help from a prep standpoint is with good people, bad tweets, because he'll comment on a bad tweet and he'll at me in there so that he knows that I'll see it. And this tweet has since been deleted, by the way. But the good folks over at Fantasy Receipts, they're doing the Lord's work. And they screenshotted it and tweeted it out, and Jerry saw it and sent it to me. And this is a recent re-offender. Second appearance in probably 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And it is Elite Drafters at Elite_Drafters. And they, because I don't know, most people will stick with they said, any folks out there looking to become fantasy football creators, I have a course I'm offering for $1,000. Drop a comment if interested.
You stupid greedy prick. Are you fucking kidding me? $1,000 to do what?
I mean,
okay. For real though, Randy, like we watch poker, we play poker. Like if Daniel Negreanu offers me $1,000 for some lessons, okay. Like there's people that don't play poker who know who Daniel Negreanu is, right? You can see the results that show that is a great player and they are absolutely wonderful. Is Elite Drafters Matthew Berry? Because I got news. Unless you're Matthew Berry, sit down, shut up. There is absolutely nothing you are going to offer anybody for $1,000 to make them a better content creator. Listen, I get comments on our YouTube and they talk shit about me and they talk shit about Randy less often than me. But listen, we've been doing this for 8 years. I think we have a relatively entertaining show. We say some stupid stuff. I've been wrong a lot before. But honestly, you could watch 1,000 different shows. I think we're relatively entertaining. I think we are good personalities. You know how much I'm charging you to do this? Nothing. Like we have a Patreon so that, we can pay to afford to post stuff places. We do this for fun. We do this to enjoy it. You're trying to get somebody to pay $1,000 to teach you how to do it, brother. That's the most disrespectful, awful, money grab, crock of shit that I have ever heard in my life. And you should be embarrassed that you even tried to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you said Matthew Berry, and I was thinking more of like, our boss, the Podfather. If Matt Kelly had a course, I'm listening, and I'm talking about guys that like Matthew Berry would maybe be in the $10,000 range, right? And I think that's fair, maybe even more. Matt Kelly, JJ Zacharyson, there's a handful of guys that I would pay top tier money for their help. But if you want to start content, it is super duper simple. You buy a microphone. You don't have to leave your house. You can literally order it on Amazon. You set up a YouTube channel. Like literally all of the questions you could ever ask are for free. FREE free on YouTube. You will be set up, rocking and rolling. And I looked, Elite Drafters doesn't even have a YouTube page. And it's more than I have, which good for you. For me, he's got 10,000 Twitter followers. I don't know. He could be huge on Instagram or TikTok, but how are you going to get that $1,000 back? I would tell you, save the money. Seriously, save the money. Invest $1,000 in some equipment. Watch some videos. You can at me at DWZ Memphis. You can at Jerry Send DWZ. And then I'll tell you who else is really good with this. Our guest from a couple weeks ago, Dustin Royer. Amazing. If you're going to pay anybody to do it because Dustin can help you with graphics and overlays, reach out to that dude at all 22FF. If I remember correctly, I'm freewheeling here. There are so many better places to spend than $1,000. And our guy, Jamie in the chat, Jamie was like, the guy deleted his post after my comment got over 40 likes.
Doing the Lord's work, Jamie.
Can you say ratioed? Ratioed. Well, anyway, listen, this one was so egregious that I went into the software and I added a very special Uncle Dana White for this tweet.
Federal prison. Federal fucking prison. If you're that fucking stupid and somebody else wants to do it, knock yourself out. There's not enough money in it.
Exactly.
Not enough money in it.
There's not enough. Well, there is if you're elite drafters and you got people dropping a band per.
Yeah, boy's out of his mind.
Yeah, that guy's hired and draft nuts. Anyway, let's transition on the show, Jerry. We did have real football this past weekend, and I gotta say it was pretty good. I mean, apologize there. My alarm went off in the background, but that's the cost of business when you're doing a live show. But I thought the football was pretty decent. Saw some starters. Anything from you? I've got my first one queued up here, but anything just broad before I get going?
No, I think overall it was sort of exactly what we suspected. The one thing that I will say, because I don't see you have them on your 5, and I don't really have them on my 5, I like that Ben Johnson and the Bears are trying to get their new guys work, right? Like Kyle Monungai got some play early. They tried to throw it to Colston Loveland pretty quick. They tried to get Luther Burden the ball quickly. Like, I like that. Like, that is absolutely something I want to see. I want to see if these boys are ready. So I appreciated that. They didn't have big roles or anything, which, not like Travion, who we're definitely going to talk about. But I liked seeing them get the opportunity.
Our boy Cameron Myers here with the super chat. Michigan maize and blue. JJ going to the Hall of Fame, Jerry. What'd you think about the kid? What'd you think about JJ McCarthy and his debut? And not really his debut because he played a little bit last preseason, but for the first time in a long time, we're probably like right at 11 and a half months since JJ's played a meaningful game of football. What were your thoughts?
I mean, he liked Jordan Addison. Holy shit. He came right out immediately. Addison. Now, I know JJ's not playing, but at least you're looking for the talent. So I will take that. He started off 3 for 3. All 3 of them went to Addison. You know, he had some incompletions along the way, but I think he's fine. I mean, JJ's walking into a situation that is unlike any for rookies because Jordan Addison, former Biletnikoff winner, played at USC, played at Pitt. You got Justin Jefferson, absolute just dong that touches his kneecap. TJ Hawkinson is there. I mean, it's a great situation. Dude should be good. All you want to see is him just not screw it up. And he has not screwed it up. You got to be happy with JJ.
For me, I just want him to continue to take what's there. I think that's a big part of what made Sam Darnold very successful last year in the exact same offense. Take what's there. And you mentioned the Bears offense. Now, Kaleb Williams didn't play, but I want Kaleb Williams to be able to do exactly what J.J. McCarthy's doing. 1, 2, 3, get the ball out of your hands. Because the one thing that drives me absolutely crazy about Kaleb Williams, it's like the one bad trait is he hangs on to the ball way too long. And I think if there's a chance that would cause him to not be successful in the NFL, it would be that. It would be holding on to the ball too long. Jerry, anything else before I hit you with mine? You know what? I'm tired of being kind. I'm just going to hit you right with my first one. Tyler Warren for me. So here's the thing about Tyler Warren. Now, what we play is Dynasty Fantasy Football. You guys, you heard it here first. You do not need to panic whether his season is good or bad. The Colts' long-term quarterback is clearly not on this team. I don't know if you saw Anthony Richardson completely miss the blitz and get absolutely annihilated. Daniel Jones didn't look much better. But, dude, Tyler Warren's going to be a problem. And I don't know that he has the Gronk level of dog, but he looks like a Gronk out there. He is destroying people in a completely different way than Brock Bowers is destroying people. And one thing I like about him is, and people are going to assume this is Marvin Harrison Jr. shade. It is not. It is being honest about Marvin Harrison Jr. It's the same way that you like Trey McBride or the same way that you like Brock Bowers. There's no alpha wide receiver. There is no Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. There's none of those guys there. Michael Pittman's a nice wide receiver. I like Josh Downs to have some upside. Alec Pierce, if you're like in a 14-team or a 16-team best ball league, always worth having them do that. If Anthony Richardson's out there, two for 3 catches for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns, always in the range of outcomes. So, but there's no alpha in his way. Jerry, what are your now? I was actually talking with Brittany, the lady who does the thumbnails for the YouTube show. She's out in Canton this weekend at the expo, the fantasy football expo, and she drafted Tyler Warren as one of her players. And I'm like, I'm trying not to be biased as a Colts fan, but dude, the kid looks like a killer, Jerry.
No, you saw exactly what you wanted. And you saw some productivity from, like you said, I mean, brothers and sisters, we knew that the quarterback situation was going to be rough. But let's look at what Daniel Jones did. 10 for 21. 10 for 21 in the first preseason game. Danny.
Against the guy who's going to be running the counter at Enterprise in like 3 weeks.
You can't do that. That's bad.
You cannot.
So, but just to see anything out of Tyler Warren, because you're right. It doesn't matter how good that quarterback situation room is, because honestly, the worse it is, the better it is for his future. Because then they will get a better quarterback in there, and that's exactly what you want. His value is not going to dip. Here's the thing. We are dynasty players, and if we pay a first-round rookie pick for somebody, we're not giving them away for, shoestrings and chewing gum. We're just not. Like we'll hold on to it until we can see how that situation plays out. So you have at least a stable asset for another year. Just hold on to it. Just be happy.
There is no panic button to hit on Tyler Warren.
No.
And you get a better case scenario with Daniel Jones, because if memory serves me correctly, last year Anthony Richardson was the worst quarterback in passing QBR from the line of scrimmage to 10 yards out, which is where Tyler Warren will do a lot of work. He had 3 targets the other day, Jerry. He had 3 catches for 40 yards.
Cool.
In a preseason game. Now again,
yeah, but in there like swimwear. Still, that's the first opportunity. He did the most with his opportunity.
Absolutely. The other one. So I'm glad to hear that I'm not coming across as a biased Colts fan, because that's always my fear. I get hyped for the boys in blue, and you do for the Lions.
I've got a homer one too. So,
well, hit me with the homer.
Isaac Tesla, man. I also hate that his name is Tesla. I wish it was Tesla. It's just annoying to say Tesla. But Hall of Fame game, had a couple good catches. They definitely wanted to focus on him. He was good at separation. He got the touchdown in this last game. Never dropped a ball in college, ever. Played in the SECs last year, too. I mean, I don't know. I have been talking a lot about Jameson Williams this offseason. And I am starting to believe that Isaac Tesla is going to eat into that a little bit and make that a more frustrating pick for me. So, I don't know. I think the Lions' offense for Jared Goff is going to be great. I think between Jameson Williams, between Sam Laporta, and between Isaac Tesla, I think there is just going to be a lot of headaches. And it's going to be ups and downs. And this person's good for best ball, which, as you know, means I don't like them for Dynasty. That's just what it feels like.
Actually, a really, really good athlete. I just pulled him up on Player Profiler. 4.40, well, 4.43, but a 97th percentile speed score. Burst score, which burst is like that quick twitch, that quick separation, 91st percentile. And he's got a 98th percentile catch radius. I mean, what's not to like?
Never dropped a pass in college.
And if Jameson Williams, even if he has a guy like a season that like you're hoping he has, because you made a ridiculous trade with me for Jameson Williams, and I'm very grateful that you did. So thank you on that. But to a different degree and in a different way, Isaac Tesla could be. He's the perfect taxi squad guy. He is the perfect taxi squad guy, because if Jameson Williams has a great season, how do the Lions pay him? Because you're going to be at the point where Sam Laporta is going to want to be re-upped. He'll be finishing his 3rd year. Jared Goff makes $1 bajillion. Amon-Ra St. Brown makes $1 bajillion. Everyone on the offensive line also makes exactly $1 bajillion. How would you pay Jameson Williams?
Yeah, because you're going to want to pay.
And they're not the same anyway. They're very much different. We're talking about, like, what was it? Khalif Raymond and Josh Reynolds,
Tim Patrick, yeah,
all those kind of guys. I mean, he might be a low target, high red zone type guy. I mean, he's 6'4". We just talked about his wingspan being absolutely ridiculous. These are the kind of guys Jerry. I broke the cardinal rule, right? We don't come in here and tell you, "Oh, go get the best player in the rookie class." That I broke that rule because I'm so hype on Tyler Warren. Jerry, on the other hand, hit you with a guy who's the perfect throw in a dynasty trade, the perfect guy if you haven't done your rookie draft to maybe reach a little bit on and throw him on your taxi squad. And if you get anything out of him the back half of the season, that's just gravy. That is absolutely just gravy. Jerry, I think I was not expecting that one. That was actually a really good one. The fact that it's a Lion does not surprise me. By the way, I love Player Profiler. We're going to do the Dynasty Deluxe ad here later in the show. But I'm using the tools here. Where did Isaac Tesla rank in athleticism out of 35 wide receivers in his class? So there were 35 wide receivers in the class of 2025. Where did Tesla rank among 1 to 35?
I mean, you're going to set me up for a high number since you just gave me that, but where's it at?
2. He is by player profiler metrics.
Good.
He is now, as we've learned, you can call it the Mike Gesicki, although he's a tight end, the Mike Gesicki corollary. Elite athleticism does not always equal elite
True
fantasy and actual production. The old saying, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane, for a reason. Although I think this kid can ball. He's a super athlete, and he could be their Alex Pierce, Jerry.
Yeah.
Big, tall, fast, white guy on the outside.
Yes. See you down there.
Speaking of tall white guys, let's talk Jackson Dart.
Okay.
If you're Joe Shane, I'll go with Shane. Joe Shane. If you're Joe Shane and Dayball, are you really going to hitch your wagon to Russell Wilson? Do you really have to go 3-6 to understand, what you have at the quarterback position? Throw the kid out there. Maybe you give Russell Wilson 2 games. Maybe. But why not? This upcoming class, I'm wearing my I changed hats before the show. I was wearing an LSU hat. The kid Nussmeier, potentially Arch Manning. It's going to be a really good QB class. Now, if you're the Giants, do you want to be sitting on a guy that you're not 100% sure on? Because you only played him the back 8 games of the season. The roster was hurt. It wasn't a complete. You played it. Just throw him in there. Just throw him in there. You know what Russell Wilson is. Jerry, do you know what Russell Wilson is? Well, easy for me to say. What Russell Wilson is?
Yeah.
He's washed. We'll start with washed. So
fair.
why not just roll Jackson Dart out there? Look pretty good. 12-19, 154 yards, 106 passer rating. I can live with that. And I know people are going to say, but Memphis, what about
all with neighbors not playing too?
And again, I take it with a grain of salt because Buffalo, they've already lost their rookie, was it first or second round pick to an ACL. He's out for the season. Buffalo's, they know what their roster is. So again, future Amazon truck drivers, insurance adjusters, that's what these guys are going to be doing. But not getting too caught up with it. But I just roll with the kid because if he's buns by the time we get to Thanksgiving, okay. If he's buns, then you're probably still going to be like 3-11. Okay.
And in line for an early pick. Cool.
And in line early pick. Hey, Jackson, thanks for stopping by. But you know what? We're going to draft this Nussmeier kid, or maybe we get lucky and get Arch Manning. But I think, again, one game I'm not going over the top. But I think the kid can play a little bit. And he has like some moxie, some chutzpah about him.
Either way, you got to give him a shot. And now, like if you're 3-0 with Russ, it's different. Like you're gonna have to play with Russ. But does anybody think that's gonna happen? Randall, anybody in the world think Russell Wilson's gonna be 3-0? No. So they're more likely to be 1-2 or 0-3. Give the kid a shot, right? Give him a month. If it doesn't work out and he's ass and you see that he's cheeks, you got Jameis, right? Jameis isn't going to win you games. He's going to guarantee that you're going to keep losing. He's also not going to hurt the young kid, his morale, his confidence. So good to go.
Here,
like,
allow me. Week 1 at the Commanders.
Okay, loss.
Week 2 at the Cowboys.
Probably a loss.
Week 3 hosting the Chiefs.
Yeah, okay. 0-3.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Week 4 hosting the Chargers.
Okay, probably a loss.
I get rid of Russell Wilson. This is like perfect. I did not plan it this way, but it's going to work out great. Week 5, first week of October, you play the New Orleans Saints.
Perfect. Jackson Dart, welcome in, buddy.
Well, welcome in, buddy. Your team's 0-4, and you've got to come in and be the savior. But the reason why I stopped at the Saints, gang, unless Alvin Kamara gets traded to like the Cowboys, because the Cowboys are allegedly in the market for a quote-unquote superstar running back. Did you see that news?
I didn't, but that's awesome.
Yeah, they're allegedly. I mean, We
Yes.
don't want to worry about signing Micah Parsons. That doesn't
No.
seem very important. We'll figure that
No,
out.
30-year-old running back's what we need.
Well, they didn't say Kamara. There's been rumors it's Brees Hall. I thought of Alvin Kamara. I think it would be but I want out of the New Orleans Saints business.
100%.
I want out of the Chris Olave business. I want out of the Rashid Shaheed business. I want out of the Jawan Johnson business. I want out of the Kendre Miller business.
Yes.
I want none. There's literally not a New Orleans Saint not named Alvin Kamara I have zero interest in. And Alvin Kamara is only gonna keep you satisfied as a back end RB1, high end RB2 because of pass volume. It's going to be check down, check down, check down, check down. So he's going to get you like 5 for 50 in the pass game every week. You throw in 40 or 50 yards rushing, he gets you 15 PPR points. You're happy as a clam. Outside of that, like Tyler Warren, I mentioned Tyler Warren earlier in the show. I'm willing to give him a year because he's a rookie, and I think his quarterback situation is going to improve. I'm out on Chris Olave, because he's injured again, and the quarterback's buns, cheeks, sucks, terrible, the worst. It's
Fair.
not good. I'm out. I'm out for the real NFL. I'm out for fantasy football. I'm out for Dynasty. You could not make me an offer right now unless you were giving people away for any New Orleans Saint.
Preach, brother. You know who you're not out on, though? You know who you're really not out on, though, Randall? Travion Henderson.
Well, we're going to talk about him, Jerry. You know how to bury the lead.
That's because there is nothing that got this community more excited than Travion Henderson. But go ahead, do your formalities.
All right,
stay on the tracks.
So that's a pretty quick takeaway. Get out of the New Orleans Saints business. I don't care if it's Superflex and Tyler Suck is your QB2. I don't care. You're better off trying to get that dude out of here. Go unload him on some other poor, unsuspecting soul. And if you're looking for tools to help you create that trade, you might need Dynasty Deluxe.
If you play in Dynasty, you need Dynasty Deluxe, our premium package for Dynasty Leaguers. We rank over 300 players, updated every week, all year long. And there's a win now mode and a rebuild mode with Superflex and tight end premium controls. And a Dynasty League sync where you can say, sync down all of my sleeper teams, all my FFPC teams. And then you can browse around your leagues for who has needs. And then you can use our trade finder to see what kinds of trades are happening in leagues that are similar to the one I want to do. Then you can analyze trades using our trade analyzer, which balances the lifetime value, which includes pick values out to like 2028. All of that plus the rookie guide, $25 value is included. So if you're just in one Dynasty League, Dynasty Deluxe is well worth it. And use your host's promo code, and you can bump up to all in and get $25 off.
The promo code is WarZone, all caps, all one word, WarZone, just like Fast Draft. Use it, go all in, and help make trades. Yeah, Travion Henderson. But before we get there, can I ask you a question? Because you have Travion Henderson, I have Travion Henderson. It was one of the clearest takes of the weekend. Was that fair to say?
Absolutely.
How much, and it's one preseason game, so we're not overreacting, but how much did that gap between whatever in your mind between Ashton Jeanty, Omarion Hampton, and Travion Henderson, how much did that tighten up?
I don't know that it exists, brother. I truly don't. And
you're on the clock. You're on the clock right now. Right now, today, August 10th. Who are you taking right now?
I think it's Ashton Jeanty 60% of the time, but I think it's probably Travion Henderson 25% and Omarion Hampton 15% of the time. I mean, but it's close. I mean, there's a real chance that Travion just trucks everybody else in this running back class. I wouldn't be surprised.
And I know offensive coordinators come and go. I understand that. This is a new regime in Las Vegas. So I'm telling you right now, you can have Ashton Jeanty and Chip Kelly, whatever you think of Chip Kelly and what you've seen him do with running backs in the past. Or you can have Travion Henderson and Josh McDaniels. One of them is a McDaniel, one of them is I get them wrong all the time. But you get Josh McDaniels and Travion Henderson after seeing him use guys like Dion Lewis, after seeing him using guys like, Danny Woodhead, James White, and now you get a turbo deluxe model. That's like watching a guy drive like a homemade NASCAR, and then all of a sudden one day you actually give him a NASCAR. I'm telling you, man, it's close. And right now, if you still have not done your rookie draft, I will not fault you one bit if you take Travion Henderson over Ashton Jeanty.
I'm with you. And listen, are we overreacting a little bit to the kick return? Sure. Sure. But
did you see the 11-yard rush?
100%. And he had a like a 18-yard reception or something too. Bro just looked different. Now the thing, Ramondre Stevenson, we knew was going to be a little bit of a thorn in the side. And he still will be for the first couple of weeks. This is like Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. For the first 3 weeks, we're going to see Travion worked into the system a little bit to make sure that he can hang with the starters and he knows the offense and blah, 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 blah. No, Ramondre did look good. I mean, he had 7 carries for like 40 yards or something. I don't remember off the top of my head. He was fine. And he's going to absolutely get work. But he is also going to get phased out because that boy is going to keep getting older and Travion Henderson is just going to be a much better running back. Hello. Are we at the ceiling for what Travion Henderson is right now? I don't know. It's possible. But, Randy, we're talking first touch. First touch. Took it for 100. Give me that every time.
I remember a very short 2 years ago, we were dead nuts convinced that Bijan Robinson was a better running back than Jahmyr Gibbs. Right? Do you remember this, Jerry? You're a Lions fan. You should remember this more than anybody. And how'd that work out? Listen, and that doesn't mean that Bijan's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying every time we've been told there's this clear lock, dead nut, can't miss 101, there always winds up being someone else who's right there in the mix. Right? Mm-hmm. He's in the mix. And Rubio, shout out Rubio, always in the chat. Rubio's good people. Ramondre is going to be a thorn in the side. Probably just like David Montgomery was wait a second. He wasn't a thorn.
He still is. He still scored like 12 touchdowns.
I mean, but it's not it's not even 2000s. It's not 1990s anymore. Unless it's Derrick Henry, there aren't like 80% touch running, nor should there be.
100%.
I want my Travion Hendersons. I want my Ashton Jeantys, Jahmyr Gibbs. I want them to get 55% of the touches, as long as they get a disproportionate amount of the receptions. I could care less about those, as the Podfather calls them, meat shield reps. Let him pound the rock for 4 yards in a cloud of dust, from between the 20s. But when it's third down or it's inside the red zone, yeah, absolutely. That's when I want my guy working. So, of course, I want Ramondre there. And again, I just mentioned Montgomery and Gibbs. You can go back to Kamara and Ingram. There's plenty of situations where a lot of guys can eat. And, Jerry, real quick, name a pass catcher for the New England Patriots that has you excited.
Stefan Diggs.
Keyshawn Butte is about it.
Yeah, they exist. I don't know if I get excited for them.
Pop Douglas. It's just not out there.
Effing do.
Do you not? If I told you at the end of the season Travion Henderson was second on this team in targets, you gonna be shocked?
No.
Isn't that what you want? Now let's jump to the other side of this here coin. Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
I retweeted it because I thought it was funny. I just put the laughing emoji in the retweet comment, right? But it was like Ashton Jeanty doesn't look as good when he's not playing an Alaskan online technical college at 2 a.m.
I mean,
it's
not wrong.
fair. And someone else had a more realistic one. It's like it's not the same, when he's not playing Colorado. This is the NFL. And I always give him a shout out, tip of the cap to my guy, John Middlecoff. That's one of my favorite podcasts, 3 and Out podcast. He was like, doesn't it seem odd? And he's a former scout. He worked for the Eagles. He worked for Howie Roseman. He's worked for smart people in the NFL. And he said, does it feel odd to take a Mountain West? Is it Big 12, Mountain West? Oh, Big 12. Yeah. Eventually there's going to be like one conference.
It's true.
But a Mountain West running back in the top 10, does that feel crazy?
I mean, it does.
I know the guy's good. I know the guy went nuclear. I'm just saying, I'm not worried about him this year. I think I'm more worried about him under quote unquote underachieving as a rookie, just kind of due to things not really within his control. I don't know. I'm not trying to, because I don't think tearing down Ashton Jeanty makes Travion Henderson better. I'm just saying the gap closed.
The gap definitely closed. The thing about Ashton Jeanty that's going to hurt him, though, Randy, is if he's not awesome, his value is going to tank worse than it should. At some point, we will see, assuming he doesn't explode, which is absolutely a possibility. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But because he was like Universal 101, everybody just blew their load to him the whole offseason, blah, 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 blah. If he doesn't hit those expectations, it's automatically going to be seen as a failure. And the moment you are seen as a failure in Dynasty, production-wise, your value dips. There's no way around it. Like, look at Josh Jacobs, for instance. Josh Jacobs is somebody that was a 101 in rookie drafts a few years ago, and he was just, like, pretty boring. And he never, even when he's had great seasons, he's never jumped up to be that elite number, right? Like, he's never been viewed as, like, gonna change your dynasty team. Najee Harris, another guy. 101 contention. Absolutely the most boring vanilla production you've ever seen. Never viewed as that. And if that's what Ashton Jeanty is, he's viewed as a disappointment, just like Najee Harris. So I hope the guy does well. I have a few shares, but I am also skeptical, sir.
I am still 100% all in Dynasty. I do not blame you if you want to pass and redraft. Like, it's August. We're coming up with the end of the month, the last weekend of the month. It's the number one redraft weekend of the entire fantasy season. If you decided, hey, I'm not going to push the button this year at his current ADP. Now, if he falls, different conversation. Like our boy Rubio again threw in the chat. He has fallen a little bit in some seasonal leagues. Still all in. A lot of talent. Really good football player. It was really not to tear down Jeanty. It was really to praise Travion because, dude, he looks electric out there. I'm stoked.
No, 100%. But I was already excited. So I got a little bit of confirmation bias, which is making me, double count how well he's done.
And not only can we do a live show here on the Player Profiler Network, we can actually book ourselves on another show. Jamie was asking if one of us could. Jerry's going to check his schedule. If he can't, I'm going to jump on with Jamie. Jamie always supports us. But Jerry, do you know what team Jamie is a fan of?
The Cleveland Browns.
And you know who played quarterback on Thursday for the Cleveland Browns? Tell me, Jerry, you weren't throwing the fist up. It wasn't Shedeur. It was Shedeur
Sanders.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm going to say I told you so. He is going to start more than one game this year for the Cleveland Browns. How you feeling about that take? He'll start 0 regular season games for them.
He will start more than 0 games. But
yeah, he will.
I still think he's ass. Even watching that game, oh my God. Like, that was the game I watched the most of because I was like, I like to prove myself wrong, right? Like if I think I'm on somebody, I will watch it to try and think I'm wrong. That was so many 6-yard curls. 6-yard curl, 6-yard curl, 4-yard curl. Oh my God. It was like watching a MAC football game. Yeah, honestly, it was like watching a Colorado game without Travis Hunter. Now he had some moments. He had one where he rolled out to the right. He flipped it over the linebacker for a pretty big first down. His second touchdown was a really good throw. His first touchdown 100% should have been intercepted. He was fine. He was fine. Yeah, he was better than I expected him to be, but also we're talking about the Panthers preseason. So we're talking about one of the ass teams in the league, their backups and third stringers, and he still went 14 for 23.
14 for 23 is respectable.
Fine. It's fine.
I mean,
it's not like, ooh, I can't wait to start you in my dynasty roster. Like, hell no.
It's not about that. It's about trying.
No. That's all it is. That's all this game is about. Can you help me win these sexy sons of bitches and money?
I'm looking at it right now. So you were referring to his 6.0 average, right? You said, because you're correct.
Was it actually 6?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was just picking
6 yards an attempt. 6 yards an attempt.
Honestly, it might have been our boy Dustin Royer who shared a video of the highlights of the game. I don't remember exactly. I think it was him. Oh my God, it was just 5-yard curl route. 8-yard curl route. He had a couple plays though. He did have a couple plays, and he looked fine. He's 100% going to start. I was wrong to say 0. I will accept that, sir.
I should have gotten I should have got that wager locked in before.
Yes, you should have had me chugging a bottle of mayonnaise or something.
Yeah, I should have made you go full Levis. Never go full Levis.
No.
But yeah, it was not like a great performance, but he had missed some practice time. He had I think it was arm soreness, and the starters weren't out there. Did Jerry Jeanty play? No.
Mm-mm.
Did Tillman play? No. Did David Njoku play? Also no. There was a lot of talent not on the field. I'm not saying Shedeur is going to be Joe Montana or Tom Brady. He clearly doesn't have the wheels of a Lamar Jackson. But Shedeur, like I feel the same way about Shedeur as I feel about Jackson Dart. Get that dude in the offense. Let him play. Like I've said it since the draft. It is 100% free. You mentioned earlier, you and I both enjoy playing poker, right? It is 100% a free roll. Podfather used that term in the Fast Draft ad. It's a free roll. You got Shedeur Sanders, unlike the Giants who traded up to get Jackson Dart. You got that dude as a 5th. Jerry, do you need any NFL games to see what Kenny Pickett is?
No, I don't.
Do you need any games to know what Joe Flacco is?
No.
Okay. Do you want to see Dylan Gabriel?
I do.
Of course you do, because he helps you make you right on Shedeur. I mean, here's the thing. Because of the quote unquote draft capital argument, if you wanted to see Cleveland, if you wanted to see Cleveland go Dylan for 6 to 8 games, and if he falls on his face, you go to Sanders. Cool. Totally cool. But Shedeur is fun. The problem with Shedeur is I think he could just help them win just enough games to not get one of the good quarterbacks.
Which is such a Cleveland Browns move. The one thing I will say, and Trenton said it in the chat, he actually ran pretty well. And he slid. Like he didn't get hit. He didn't do anything crazy. He was running a lot more than people thought he was gonna. And he did it at opportune times, which is something that we didn't see at Colorado. But also he had Travis Hunter to just launch the ball to in that situation instead of running it.
Well, he's going to have Cedric Tillman.
I mean, he had the likes of Gage, Larvadane, and
Travion Williams. There's another Travion in the league. Also in Ohio. Travion Williams had a couple of targets.
Travion, is that the Texas A&M kid from a long time ago? It is. Holy shit, he's still in the league. Good for him.
Hey, you got to pay the bills somehow. So I just wanted to rub it in. And Trent in the chat says, why can't Shedeur be Tua besides the weapons? I mean, here's the thing. Kevin Stefanski is another one of those really good play calling coaches. I think he's he's at least a one-time head coach of the year. I think that was the year they made the playoffs with Joe Flacco. Maybe I've got that wrong, but he's a good offensive coordinator. Can you not scheme him up? I think it would be even better if they could get Quinshon Judkins in the fold, but he's done. I do want to throw one in at the end before I explain this black eye.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Because it happened today as we're recording, but Justin Fields got out of the pocket, making something happen with the legs, and Braylon Allen, Rubio mentioned earlier in the chat that Ramondre Stevenson's going to be a problem for our boy Travion Henderson. I got news for you. Braylon Allen, who we told you to buy like 2 months ago, because it was my take, so I know it to be true. But Braylon Allen's going to be a problem, Jerry. What is that guy, 20? 21?
Yeah, he's young.
Super young. Built like a tank. And the only thing that kind of has me down this year on Braylon Allen is I don't think that he'll be super involved in the passing game. But then again, with Justin Fields as the quarterback, is anyone going to be super involved in the passing game? So, did you see any of the Jets game? I know you were working today. Anything from the Jets that you have?
I did not, but I checked all the box scores because I wanted to see, and I did see that he had a good game. And I'm not super surprised. The dude was a good running back at Wisconsin. I am just a Breece Hall fanboy, and so it's tough for me to promote Braylon Allen, but also Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions last year. What did the Detroit Lions offense, what was the focal point? Running game. And how was the running game? A two-headed monster, and guess what? Braylon Allen can bang while Breece Hall is lightning. I mean, easy.
Braylon Allen, 21.5. Going into year 2 of his NFL career. He is, I believe, 3 years younger than R.J. Harvey. No shot at R.J. Harvey. I'm just saying from a dynasty standpoint, he's 6'1", 235 pounds. He's got a BMI, a body mass index of 31. That's in the 73rd percentile. But he runs a 4.5 flat. I'm a lot of fun. A lot of fun with Braylon Allen. And Justin Fields is going to be interesting. He's
always interesting, though.
Correct. The problem is that a lot of people in existing leagues paid way too much, but over the last few years, we've been getting him dirt cheap. Well, Jerry, couple of things as we wrap this up. We are at the point to where if you're here for fantasy football content, sayonara. Have a good week. We'll catch your ass next week. We do have a guest, Jerry.
Okay. Give me
one.
One real quick thing that I want to say. I might have been wrong on Tet McMillan. He looked pretty good in his first showing. It's the first preseason game, but I might have been wrong to be pessimistic. I think I've got like 1 or 2 shares across all my drafts, and that may be a big mistake.
I am holding off a full review because you know what? Xavier Legette also looked good in that offense. Dude, Hunter Renfrow, for whatever you think about Renfrow, that dude,
I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Dude, he's back. He took, I think he had some kind of like intestinal or like stomach issue that had him out of the league last year, but he looks back. You still got the ageless Adam Thielen out there.
Of course.
My only issue, my issue is not can Tet play football. It's not my issue. It's my same issue that I have with my concern that I have with Rome Odunze. Is there enough volume to make him a 1? I have no problem with Tet McMillan or Rome Odunze as a 2. I don't see wide receiver 1 in their outcomes.
Fair.
They could end up being the wide receiver 1 on their teams and like touchdowns, maybe even yards. but I don't see them for Dynasty being a top 12 at the position. I could be wrong. We'll see a year from now when we go into this. All right, you made it this far. First of all, busy weekend. Vinny turned 18 this weekend. So we did a lot of the things. We took him golfing. He had
Boring sport, but it's fine.
you know what? I hadn't played golf in 2 years. That's not how I got the black eye though. Went and played golf. Took him earlier today. Got his first tattoo. Actually, he got 2 tattoos, but
he got Thug Life.
He did Thug Life across his chest, the old school. He actually got the praying hands. You know, the holding the rosary
on his neck.
Side of the neck for sure. Yeah, that's not what he went.
Nothing says suburban white kid from Indianapolis like that.
100. Still look good walking onto campus. But anyway, so my mother-in-law, you know, obviously came down for his birthday, and she was an optometrist or
okay,
whatever. And she was like, "Hey, what happened to your eye? You know how dangerous that could be?" And what happened was about a year and a half ago, I started this jujitsu journey, we'll call it. And there's 2 versions. There's the ground karate in pajamas, the gi, which is just like it sounds. You're literally wearing canvas pajamas, and it's hot as hell. And then there's no gi. No gi is just a pair of like board shorts and a rash guard. Rash guard not even really required, but it guards you from the rash. Therefore, I roll rash guard. And one thing that you don't do in jiu-jitsu is you don't want to let a guy get his arm behind your neck, right? Bad news bears. And I was going with one of the younger because I'm stupid. We'll just leave it right there.
No,
I am
you're
stupid.
A cocky little shit.
No,
you're not little, but you're a cocky
at my
shit.
age, I have no business going with 30-something competition black belts. 0, but I was. And I use my strength, and I have his elbow, and I'm cupping it in my hand. Mind you, there's no fabric there. It's a sweaty forearm and a sweaty grip, and I'm holding this, and it slips through, and literally like the point right here, the point of his elbow hit me right in the eye, and it instantly swole up like the size of like a small bird egg to where half my eye was closed. I thought, oh shit, my wife is going to absolutely lose her ever loving mind when I get home. But luckily all the swelling was gone when I woke up Thursday morning, and here we are. But yeah, that was the first thing Jerry said when we jumped on the podcast. He was like, what the hell happened to your eye?
Well, I mean, you can't really see it because the camera's up on you, but you are in good shape. Like, and you're not like a mouthy asshole. Like, I got a little Napoleon syndrome in me because I'm a little guy. Randy doesn't have that because Randy's, you know. So I assumed you took a baseball to the eye, if you want me to be honest with you. But jiu-jitsu doesn't remind me. Or doesn't surprise me, excuse me.
It's mine. So have you ever done a personality test?
I'm sure I have.
I'm surprised like your workplace didn't have you guys do
I agree, super agree.
Yeah. And I've done like 3 or 4 of them in my career at various places. And my number 1 personality trait, okay? Number 1 is competition. It's why I love fantasy football. It's why I love Dynasty fantasy football. I'm just here to prove that I know more about this game than you. I can win more championships than you. I can win more money than you. It's why I like jiu-jitsu. It's why I like poker. I like things that I can compete at. It really, really is a good time. And I like working with people. And I don't know. I just want to see how many times I can do this till I can.
Well,
so
you caught an elbow, and you're not quitting yet. So
okay, this is really inappropriate. But my wife and I love my wife to death. We have a great relationship. So you can't really see it, but I got another little black eye on my other eye, up on the eyelid, and that one was my fault. I dove in on a single leg, and I clipped it off of a guy's shin. Well. Friday night, the night I did the second one, my wife and I walking through Costco. You know, you're having a birthday party at the house. You gotta go to Costco. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Dude, by the way, Costco cake, 2 thumbs up on the Costco cake. Solid. I know a lot of things. I know fantasy football. and I know cake, solid cake. And we're walking through there, and all of a sudden this guy walks by and he's staring at me. He's an employee, right? He's got the little badge on right there.
Mm.
And he looks at me, and I mouthed the words like I didn't say it, but I was like, help me.
He's just thinking Lowe just beats your ass.
I mean, it's just being silly, but I told her what I did, and she was like, you are such an idiot. I was like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but he was staring at me. What do you want me to do?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's totally inappropriate and the wrong call, because there are people out there in the serious part of that, and we don't want to take that lightly. So, but yeah, just another round of jiu-jitsu shenanigans. I'll just say this, and we'll go home. And thank you guys for listening. It's better than some of the other injuries that I know people that have gotten: separated shoulders, breaks, dislocations. If you tell me the worst that I'm going to get going in and going out is a couple of black eyes, cool beans, man. Cool beans. I will gladly take the black eye and move on down the road, as opposed to the dislocated kneecap.
Yeah,
it's a fair trade-off, Jerry.
Because I was in Taekwondo. I have a black belt in Taekwondo. And when I was a little kid, I kicked a bag, and I didn't flex my leg when I kicked it. So I hit the top of my foot and fucked my ankle up. I probably shouldn't have said F word, but I've had weak ankles ever since then. So I know the feeling.
Jerry, don't ever say you have weak ankles again.
I do have weak ankles, brother.
But you know what's the opposite of weak is strong. And what we have for you guys next week is a strong guest.
Meaty calves.
Meaty calves. Well, it's holding you up. Our boy Jamie. Jamie hosts a podcast, and I'm trying to find the name of it in the Dynasty Six Pack.
Yep.
The Dynasty Six Pack. Check out Jamie, dude. He is here every week, and then Jerry or I are going to jump on with those guys this week. But you're already on YouTube. I can see how many of you are watching on YouTube. If literally 1 out of 6 goes over and checks out the Dynasty Six Pack, you are doing him an amazing solid. All right. And don't be that asshole saying one of them other 5 assholes will get it. No. You're going to be the one. This is your mission. This is what you were called to do. You're going to go to the Dynasty Six Pack, and you're going to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because Jamie is good people. All right. We do have a great guest next week. I am stoked the minute that this guest said yes. And at some point, we are going to get Jamie on. We're working on that. I think guests during the regular season are more fun.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to play Dynasty in the regular season like it is during the off season, right? More trades really depends on the league, but just a different vibe. So we'll work on getting guests in here. I will tell Jerry who the guest is for next week. Thank you guys all. This is like a really high number of viewers live on YouTube. Thank you so much. Don't be afraid to subscribe. And all of the guys and ladies, everybody that reached out about a roster review with Dustin and I for our new show, The Dynasty Contractors, we got you, and we've got a list, okay? Check out the Dynasty Contractors YouTube page. That's our YouTube page. Subscribe to that as well. Check out Fast Draft. Check out Dynasty Deluxe, promo code WarZone, all of those good things. But Jerry's holding a trophy. He's bragging about championship gold. And we'll be back next week. We'll obviously be talking about the preseason. What did we see? What did we not see? What do we want to see more of? But until then, you guys have an awesome week. And remember, we're just here to make the world a better place for fantasy football. Have a great week, guys.
Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this broadcast. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more shows on the Player Profiler channel, subscribe to it. That's how we know you want more.